Football Manager is a game where you can use so many different tactics, but sometimes we either want to get a bit more creative or we simply don't have the players for the formation. So today we're going to explore something different, and it's a little thing called the false winger. What's happening, folks? So today's going to be something a little bit different. I'm going to explore something that may not be quite conventional, but I think it's going to help you build some tactics, especially if you get to a club and you don't have the players you need to do a certain role. And that certain role is here. Out wide, I have an inverted winger or a winger, and you may see that the formation here that I've built is called the false winger, and that's what we're going to investigate today. Now, I don't do this much, dudes, but to help this channel grow, and it's growing really well, if you could pop a like on the video, that's just going to help the growth. It means the world to me. Now, into this video we go. So when you get to a new club, you want to set your formation up. Popular ones, 4-2-3-1s, 4-3-3s, 4-4-2s, etc. All utilising a wide man. But what if you don't have a wide man and you don't want to play wing backs as such? I wanted to try this approach, utilising a player who was going to be a wide man, but not a wide man. Now here is my tactic called the false winger. We've got a really aggressive fullback on one side, and to me he's going to supply most of the width. On the other side, I'm blessed with an inverted winger who can combine with the winger. Now, how are we going to fill this gap up here? And that's what this video is about. It's not just about the winger role as in a false winger, it's about you realising that in a tactic you can basically create things using player instructions that can fill gaps and make your tactic a bit more fluid. So what I'd like you to focus on is this match that we're going to play now against Bruges. So the right hand side is covered with a wing back and an inverted winger, which is Trincao and Pedro Porro. On the left hand side, I've got a really aggressive fullback in Nuno Santos. Prefers to play a winger, but for this formation it's absolutely ideal because he's going to get way up the pitch. And ahead of him is going to be the false winger, which is going to be Marcus Edwards. So these are two we're going to watch. And as a reminder, that's a pre-match formation, so we'll keep an eye here. So in defensive situations, this is where you can't even tell that he's not an actual winger. We've got Nuno Santos highlighted there. He's the fullback. You've got your defensive midfielder there, who's key in the setup, and then you've got Edwards there. So he's covering that flank when you're in defence. Now in an attacking movement, Santos has just taken the throw in, and there is Edwards on the left-hand flank. As we play this on, you can see Edwards high up on the left-hand side, and over on the right-hand side is Trincao. Now you tell me the difference here, dudes. Trincao's an inverted winger, Edwards is an attacking midfielder, both covering the same gaps. With the use of PIs, we can turn Edwards into this false winger role. But I guess the beauty of it, because he is situated centrally as well, he then turns into more of a central player when it goes down the right hand side. And you can see Santos, because he's aggressive, will supply the width. So for me, the false winger role is giving you the best of both worlds, going forward and back. What we also get is attacking movements that are less predictable. So we've just received the ball back and we've got Santos and Edwards over here. Santos absolutely legging it to provide the width, and Edwards slightly in the centre. As the move progresses, you can see Edwards now sees that Santos goes round him, so he doesn't need to supply the width himself. He can concentrate on driving forward, knowing Santos is supplying the width on the outside, and he situates himself more in the middle. If he's a traditional winger, he's going to be out there more, but now because he's an attacking midfielder with certain PIs, he can provide an overload in the middle, knowing we've got width on the left. In fact, if you look at the heat map during the match now, remember Trincao is down as a winger and Edwards, number 10, is down as an attacking midfielder. Can you see the difference in their positioning? If anything, Edwards is more wide than Trincao. It's a really cool little role that means that if you don't have a winger, you can still kind of play a winger. It just means you can get a little bit more creativity and have overloads in other areas. So how do we make that guy into a false winger? This is the role here. So how have I done it? So we've got an attacking midfielder. I think it's important to look at what an attacking midfielder does without you putting any PIs on first. And basically you have a blank canvas there. A blank canvas. He's an attacking midfielder. He kind of hovers in this sort of area, as the game will tell you. Attacking midfielder operates higher up the pitch than a standing midfielder, so he drives into space from deep. So normally this guy would operate in this sort of area here, in between the 18-yard box lines, in that sort of area. Now when we add certain PIs like these, he's going to act as our new false winger. So the PIs that I've added are cross more often, dribble more, running wide, stay wider, and mark specific position. So cross more often, obviously like a traditional winger, when he gets the opportunity, he will whip that ball in, dribbling more and running wide with the ball. He'll receive it, whether he receives it here, it will come out wide naturally. We're asking him to stay wider, which is obviously key. So rather than come inside a bit more, he may occupy in between those areas here. And the mark specific position is the opposition fullback. So in defensive positions, he will find himself over here. So what we've done is we've taken that attacking midfield role and we've gave him the PIs to basically be a much wider player in and around those zones, and in defensive situations he's going to sit in that zone there and cover that flank for our fullback. Now the other roles in and around it will help this move even more. So we've got the wing back on attack, we've talked about him. He's going to be up and down there, meaning that he can drift in now and again as well. And the role behind him is even more important because we've got these two really attacking roles in the wing back and the attacking midfielder. So I've got a ball winning midfielder in there on hold position. So anything that comes in and around this area, he can break it down. What that then means is when you come to day one of your squad and you don't quite have the players you want for your ideal formation, you can get a bit more creative and kind of get there by using a false position. It's a really interesting concept. I'm going to look into it for other areas of the pitch as well. But for now, I'm going to give this false winger formation a go because it's already beaten Real Madrid.